All right, good evening. I'm going to call us to order July 15th, 2025 Board of Commissioners regular business meeting. Item number 1 is our invocation and reflection. Tonight we have down Vice Chair Taylor.
Thank you. Dear Creator of the universe, we thank you for gathering us here today. Please bless this meeting and guide us as we work together. Lord, we ask for your wisdom and guidance as we begin this meeting. Help us to be respectful to each other and to work towards a positive outcome. Amen.
Thank you, Vice Chair. We'll go to item 3, which is roll call. Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Commissioner Morales. Commissioner Ray.
Present.
Chair Strebs.
Here.
Vice Chair Taylor.
Here.
Commissioner Wheeler.
Here.
Commissioner DeLu.
Here.
Commissioner Gisler.
Here.
Vice Chair Pro Tem Hepler.
Here.
Commissioner Mather. You have 8 present.
Thank you, Clerk. All right, we'll go to item 4, proclamations. We have none for consideration this evening. Take us to item 5 is communications. We have 2 Information Technology Department, their 2024 annual report, and also the Housing Department's 2024 annual report were provided for the Commissioner's review. Thank you to the work of our internal departments and in particular housing for all the great efforts we've got underway in the community, celebrating some of that today. All right, we'll go to item 6 is approval of minutes.
I make a motion to approve the July 1st, 2025 Committee of the Whole and regular meeting minutes.
Motion made by Vice Chair Taylor, supported by Vice Chair Pro Tem Hepler. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. We'll go to item 7, it's approval of the agenda.
I move that we approve the agenda as presented.
Motion made by Vice Chair Pro Tem Hepler, supported by Commissioner Wheeler. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. The agenda is approved. Item 8 is an opportunity for presentations. We have none at our regular meeting tonight. Item 9 for public hearings. We also have none this evening. Takes us to item 10. Public comment. Again, we can make that in person by joining us at the podium, or if you're participating virtually, you can call in for public comment at 855-925-2801 and then enter meeting code 10748. And then you press *3 to join the speaking queue. Callers can request to join the queue at any time before the final public comment period of this meeting. You'll be permitted to speak during the specific public comment session you've requested to join. If you wish to speak during both public comment periods, you must again press *3 after the first session. Speakers will be recognized in the order that their requests are received. If you join us, then you'll please share your name and where you're from. You have up to 3 minutes to address the board on any topic. Welcome.
Hi, good evening. Thank you for having me. I'm Josh Masterbrook. I'm from Richland. For a little context, I'm an emergency physician here in Kalamazoo. I also work as a firefighter and first responder in Richland, as well as up in Hickory Corners. I'm not here to represent any of those agencies, though, just speaking for myself. I wanted to bring some concerns to the board about the Region 5 Healthcare Coalition and just make you aware of some things that have been going on that have been concerning to me. One of them is an asset that we have in Kalamazoo County. It's called Medical Support Unit 3. Its nickname is MSU3. Kind of think of it as a large RV. It's used for rehabilitation. In the back of it, when you climb up into it, has 2 large bench seats. It has obviously air conditioning, heating, depending on the weather. It's also plumbed with oxygen to provide oxygen to a number of individuals inside the unit. And it could also be used to transport people to the hospital if there was a mass casualty incident, for example. The vehicle certainly services Kalamazoo County. It's housed at Comstock Fire Station. And the purpose of that is so it can be out the door immediately if there's a big incident. The vehicle can respond to structure fire to do rehab for our firefighters in the county. Can also respond out, there's been apartment fires that it responds out to help victims of apartment fires. And, if there were some sort of active assailant incident, that vehicle would get deployed out to that. The vehicle is on the run cards at Central Dispatch, so it is automatically deployed depending on what sort of the incident it is. It's also a regional asset, so it responds out to the other 8 counties besides Kalamazoo County of Southwest Michigan, and has responded out numerous times to those counties. The vehicle is stocked with equipment made specifically for MCIs. So that includes things like stair chairs to be able to get individuals down staircases, say if there's an apartment fire or there's some sort of other evacuation that you need stair chairs for. It has those on it. Also has other mass casualty supplies like bandages, gauzes, tourniquets, blood pressure cuffs, electronic vital sign machines, etc. And the unfortunate thing is that the coalition and specifically the coordinator presented themselves to Comstock Fire Station, I believe back at the end of May, and removed most of the equipment from the vehicle without the knowledge, from my understanding, of the planning board for the coalition, and without the hospital's knowledge, and without any of the fire department's knowledge as well. This information was shared, and I'm glad that it eventually did come out, because that vehicle, when it's deployed, we expect all that equipment to be on the vehicle. If it's not there, it's not very helpful. And the other quick thing, I guess in my 4 seconds left, a couple of years ago during the pandemic, we had gotten supplies from the Strategic National Stockpile that all got stored out at the warehouse in the region. The coalition ended up separating fiduciaries from Kalamazoo to Muskegon County MCA, which is not in our region. And when they did that, they got evicted from the warehouse and had to move their supplies. And doing that, they ended up throwing away a large amount of specifically PPE, gowns, gloves that were not expired. So as a taxpayer, that concerns me that that material is just thrown away. Why not give it out to the fire departments, the EMS agencies, the hospitals? And even if it was expired, why not give it to those agencies or the medical school here in Kalamazoo to use for training purposes? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for addressing this to the board, and look forward to engaging additional dialogue with you. Okay. Thank you very much for taking time. All right. Do we have anybody else that wishes to make public comment? Dina, do we have anyone online?
Chair, we do not.
Thank you so much. All right. So at this time, we'll close our first public comment session, and we will move to item 11, which is approval of the quiet consent agenda.
I move to approve the consent agenda as printed, and all items be voted on by one vote.
Thank you. Hearing a motion from Commissioner DeLu, supported by Vice Chair Pro Tem Hepler. Discussion. Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Commissioner DeLu,
Yes.
Commissioner Gisler,
Yes.
Vice Chair Pro Tem Hepler,
Yes.
Commissioner Mazer, Commissioner Morales, Commissioner Ray,
Yes.
Chair Strips,
Yes.
Vice Chair Taylor,
Yes.
Commissioner Wheeler. Yes. 8 yes.
Okay, that motion carries. Brings us now to item 12, unfinished business and general orders. We have nothing standing there this evening. So to item 13 is new business or non-consent. Item 2025-752 is request for reallocation of ARPA funding for hiring bonus and recruitment incentive program. Administrator, would you like to provide some background on that?
Yes, Chair, Vice Chair Pro Tem Commissioners, this evening for your consideration is a program that it's an extension of an existing program called the County Bounty Program for the Sheriff's Office that is essentially a recruitment and retention tool to entice current sheriff's deputies and or other civilian personnel to reach out to interested parties that might want to become members of the sheriff's office in either their sworn capacity or civilian capacity. So this program extends that opportunity to two other classifications, which are, I believe, the cooks and I don't have it in front of me, but there's two other positions. Just give me one moment here. Cooks and the clerks. Yeah, corrections deputies, correction clerks, and then the food service specialist position. So 3 positions in all for that program, and then they already have it established for the deputies, the corrections, and patrol. So Under Sheriff Greenlee is here to answer other specific questions that the board may have, and we'll stand by for your other entertaining any other questions you may have.
Thank you very much, Administrator. Under Sheriff, would you like to add to that?
Good afternoon, Board. My name is Michelle Greenlee. I'm the Undersheriff at the Kalamazoo County Sheriff's Office. We have a retention program and a recruitment program established with the original ARPA funds, which allowed us to pay bonuses to hire certified MCOLS officers or to hire people to become certified MCOLS officers and send them to the academy. Last year, we asked to extend that program to our nurses and allow them to have hiring bonuses as well, because we are having trouble recruiting people for our nursing and our medical unit, and that has helped tremendously. We have 2 programs we wanted you to consider tonight. One was to extend the bonuses to 3 other positions that over time we're having difficulty filling. Those 3 positions are corrections deputy in our jail division, the corrections clerks, which are the civilian staff that book people in and release people out of our system. And then the 3rd one is our food service specialists. They used to be called cooks in the past, but now they're food service specialists. It's very difficult for us to recruit people for these positions and to retain them. So we wanted to bring them into the hiring bonus program, not at the same amount as the MCOLS deputies or the nurses. We're asking to bring them in at the amount of $5,000, which you would receive half of that up front and then the other half after you complete your 1 year of probation. So all the bonus programs have steps to them. You don't get everything up front. We want to utilize the same ARPA funds that we are awarded to do that with those other 2 positions to create an incentive for people to apply to those positions. Another thing that we came up with at the county from our staff that we have considered for a couple months now that we wanted to present to you was a program called the County Bounty Program. It's an incentive to our employees at the Kalamazoo County Sheriff's Department. It doesn't matter what position they're in, but if they recruit somebody for an open position and they're successfully hired and they're put on their application as somebody that had recruited them and they last for the entire probationary year, they will be rewarded with a $1,000 bounty for recruiting that person successfully. Does anybody have any questions?
Not sure who was first over here. Vice Chair Pro Tem.
Thank you. Note that your corrections is about 27 vacancies currently in your staffing on that side, along with 11 in the operations part of the. I got to take off my glasses so I can see the paper here. And it has been successful with the other parts of this bonus thing to recruit enough staffing, but yet we're still a little short on people. And I'm just wondering how successful is our program with recruiting folks?
Yeah, it's been very successful. I don't have the stats on how many we've recruited in regards to the MCOLs and the nursing, but we've been sending people every academy to the MCOLs Academy and successfully keeping them, and nurses as well. We've had more than we've had in years in those positions. That's why we want to add the other categories to it. When we talk about the 27 positions in the jail division, that's a sergeant, that's 13 corrections deputies, that's 10 correction clerks, that's 2 nurses, and that's a kitchen food specialist. That makes up those 27 vacancies. It's all inclusive. It's not just one particular category. As you can tell, you know, the highest category there is corrections deputies. There's a little bit more involved with that job that they have to establish, and they have to attend an academy and certifications. But we found success in that in regards to MCOL's road patrol deputies, which we are down 9 spots, and we're down 1 airport position, and we're down 1 supervisor position, which is a sergeant position. It has been helpful. We don't have a magic wand, but we want to keep trying to recruit and up our staffing numbers since COVID, which has been a struggle across the board for any profession really in the United States, and we all recognize that. But besides having these vacancies, I want you guys to know that it's not just the vacancies. The few people that we have, we're burning them out with the overtime. We've got in our agency, we've got several people on the job injuries that can't work. We have people on FMLA status. We are a very young department. We're the youngest we've been in over 25 years. These young people want to create families and establish themselves in the community, and it hurts. And then the people that we do have, we're forcing them over because we can't get the positions filled, and we're burning them out, and they don't want to stay in the profession. So if we can get our numbers up, we could probably not burn the staff out that we do have. So when you think about these vacancies, please also consider, while they don't show as vacancies, we don't have the people that are doing the jobs because they're off on injury, or they're off on FMLA or something else, and it's very difficult. Thank you for your question.
Do you have a follow-up? Yes, please.
This funding is going to come from, this probably more for Dr. Kaplan. The funding appears to be coming from ARPA, and our ability to fill the amount that's going to be needed, is that within our budget, or
Yeah, I can speak on it a little bit. So we have around $120,000 left in our ARPA reward that you guys rewarded us to do the retention and recruitment program originally. That's where we're going to take these funds from. When they're gone, they're gone. If we find another source of funding to continue these programs, if we feel like they're successful, then we'll deal with that when it comes. But that is our main source of funding right now.
okay, so it's coming out of money that's already been budgeted, and I'm just wondering if we can maintain this to try to help fill those vacancies is kind of where I'm going with this. So, and if we've got it, then let's make it work. Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll go to Commissioner Wheeler and then to Vice Chair.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you for this. I think this is a great idea, and if you've seen success in other areas, it's fantastic. One comment that I want to make is probably more for this board. I'm going to pull a Vice Chair, more for this board more than anything, as we look forward to the next union contract for the Sheriff's Office. I don't know if you all know this, but it takes on average 3 years for the Sheriff's Office to settle a contract, where places like the City of Kalamazoo settle theirs in 2 weeks. And I'm not sure why. I've always been told it's on the county's end of why we can't settle a contract. And I think that is such a disservice to our sheriff's deputies, especially because in the past few years, I feel like some of the things that would attract talent to our county have been taken away. You have a place like Kent County, yes, it's a little bit different, don't get me wrong, that is fully staffed. One of the biggest reasons is because they have a defined benefit program. And that is one of the biggest things that attracts them there. not to mention, I mean, we're not paying that much less than, I think we're about the same as Kent County is pay, but there is something that we're missing. There is a puzzle piece that we are missing, that we are not keeping people or attracting people. I would love to see the statistics on how many people leave after getting their 2 years, because I bet it is pretty high. They go and they find somewhere else that has better benefits or that is staffed, because burnout is a real, very real thing, especially in Kalamazoo County. And so, you know, as you stated, under sheriff, they want to create lives, they want to have families, they want to have that work-life balance, and it's really hard when you're understaffed. And so I want this board to think about that as we go in to the next contract negotiation, which I think you guys just finished one up, didn't you? Not that long ago.
We did with the Deputies Association.
Okay.
We have the sergeants. Oh, we finished it with the command as well. I'm sorry, I apologize. We have
That's
just one outstanding, I believe, with our Sergeants Association.
Yeah. And so we need to think of creative ways that us as a board can support the sheriff's office in getting, not just, you know, with these programs, but an overall wholesome benefits package that attracts talent, that makes people want to be, yep, I want to come be a police officer for Kalamazoo County.
Thank you, Commissioner. Vice Chair.
We did have a defined benefits package with the sheriff's organization, and it was the sheriff's deputies and the FOP that said they did not want to be on a defined benefits package. They were the ones that said that we want to be on a defined contribution because they, at that time in the 1980s, they wanted to cash out on their system. It has been an atrocious to Kalamazoo County, not just to the sheriff's deputies, but to the county as a whole, for our ability, as Commissioner Wheeler said, to attract talent and keep talent. A defined benefits plan is one of the crown jewels that we have in our benefits package, and it is how we attract and retain talent. Other organizations don't have that tool. So I completely agree with Commissioner Wheeler that we need to, if we can find a way to get our folks back, maybe just new hires or something to negotiate, be part of a bargaining strategy. We need to basically, we need to tell the deputies that it is not in your best interest to be on a defined contribution plan. We have a fringe rate of our deputies that is about 12 to 13 points higher than any of our other employees when we're factoring in our employee benefits fund. So there's a lot to that. Now, I guess I do have and that's a great thing to start on, Commissioner Wheeler, but I do have a question, a couple of questions. One, are the correction deputies MCOL certified now, or is that's been bargained out, correct?
It's not something that's been bargained out. We have some deputies that remain dual certified. Originally, to work at the Kalamazoo County Sheriff's Department, you had to be MCOL certified, meaning road patrol certified, whether you worked in the jail division or you worked on the road division. Now we have what's called corrections deputies, and that means they're state certified in corrections. And they go to a corrections academy, but they would need to go to an MCOL's police academy to work the road, or in the road patrol or in the operations division. So yeah, that has split, and it's created actually more opportunity for us to hire and retain people. And we do send them and pay for that as well to go to the corrections academy.
And then my second question, have we in the last year or two run the food service specialists or the correction clerks through Siegel to see wage studies or sort of anything like that? Has there been any?
Yeah, they are union.
So the union, so there'd be no. Well, this is just my 2 cents. I've got absolutely no problem with the nurses. I've got no problem with the correction deputies. The clerks and the food specialists positions, my opinion is we should be paying them more per hour to attract talent as opposed to a bonus. That is taking a step back and looking at a bigger picture. You know, with the way it is with law enforcement and how tough it is to get law enforcement people to apply, and it's about to get a heck of a lot tougher after the bill that passed with the ICE agents. They're going to hire hundreds of thousands of that is going to be taken away from our local law enforcement as we're looking for new officers, looking for people to go into the academy. There's now another competition, so to speak, in the water taking that talent. I'm kind of with Commissioner Wheeler here that we need to take a really hard look on what the actual compensation is for these employees and how do we recruit and retain people for the long term. I don't feel right for somebody, a $5,000 bonus when we're paying somebody $16 or $17 an hour. It just seems be cheaper if we paid them $19 an hour instead of giving 2,500 bonuses. Now the county bounty program, I think that's a great idea. I think that probably should not be done just with the sheriff's office, but something to be done countywide that gives people the opportunity countywide. I mean, most of this I'm in complete agreement with. And to Commissioner Hepler's comment of the funding source, yeah, when that ARPA money runs out, we don't have any general fund dollars or allocations that we're going to put in there year after year. So in my opinion, I would probably rather look for salary pool dollars for the correction clerks and the food specialists and try to raise their salary to keep that ARPA money lasting as long as it can for the officers. But that's just my 2 cents. And again, I'm never going to let the perfect be the enemy of the good. So
Thank you, Vice Chair Taylor. I just want to reiterate, we have the program, the hiring bonuses for MCOLS deputies and nurses. You guys allowed us to include nurses last year, which we're very grateful for. The 3 positions we want to add to the hiring bonus program are corrections deputies, corrections clerks, and food service specialists to bring our numbers back up. And there is no magic number, for incentivizing that, but we want to try it. The county bounty program is brand new. We haven't tried this before. If it's something the county wants to explore, or if they want to watch us for a while and see how it goes, I think that's great. But we wanted a way to incentivize our own employees to be recruitment participants, because we don't have a specific recruitment unit. We need everybody to be a part of that, and we encourage everybody to be a part of that, but we've never incentivized it before. So we want to take a different look at it and see how this works out for us.
Commissioner Morales.
Thank you, Chair. So I had a conversation with Sheriff Fuller about a week ago, just about food service and those different things. My question is, we have Kalamazoo Valley where folks can go and be police officers. How's that working? Number one. Number two, I don't think I've seen you all at like our coming back to school events for criminal justice majors, sociology majors that typically dive into law enforcement or get that degree in law enforcement. We also have a nursing program. So for your nursing pool, are you looking for RNs or BSNs? We also have Homer Stryker Medical School. So I'm just thinking about, it's one thing to put some pressure on your employees to recruit, but to be visible in our places of higher learning may help as well. As far as your food specialists, Kalamazoo Valley also has a food innovation center where we produce chefs and folks that cook. So maybe being present at our food innovation center when we have these events, and typically we're at all the main campuses when we do these things, you may be able to recruit folks in. And I also agree that that salary needs to be a little higher. And then the incentive could be that, if you come, we have MSU Extension upstairs that they can get their managerial safe serve. So that it makes it a little more competitive. That's like a $60 8-hour training.
Yeah, we do that.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I'm just thinking of all the wraparound services that we have in Kalamazoo to support where people don't necessarily feel like they have to be on the beat, or, they don't have that understanding of all the abilities that law enforcement can do. So those are a few of my suggestions. I do have a meeting coming up with Sheriff Fuller that I'd be happy to share these things and these dates, but I do not see you all present at these recruiting fairs. And that could be a way to see an uptick in applications. And
yeah, those are great ideas. I absolutely agree with you. We do go to recruiting fairs and set up booths, and criminal justice ones, you got 20 criminal justice agencies in the same room. So we try to go to community events as well. And it's not just recruitment at that point, it's community engagement, right? Let them know about the sheriff's department. And we want people to know we're different than a lot of other law enforcement agencies. We're like a little village, a little city unto ourselves. We have all these different jobs that make us work. We have clerk typists, we have booking clerks, we have cooks, and we have food specialists. And it's a lot different than just a regular law enforcement agency to make us run. And we're open to going to a lot of those things, those community engagement things and getting the word out. Sometimes we don't always have all the information, but we love it when we get invited to them because not only is it an opportunity to recruit, but it's an opportunity to engage with our neighbors and our stakeholders. And I think that's good. So I appreciate you going out of your way to talk to Sheriff Fuller and engage with him and give us more ideas like that. And we would take those from anybody because we know you guys all have different contacts and resources in our community. Thank you, Commissioner.
Yeah, those are great suggestions, Commissioner Morales. I want to just, back up what the vice chair and others are supporting. I mean, the folks at the low end of our county wage scale still, we've made significant advancements on wage, but we're really still below a livable wage. And when you're asking a cook to wait 12 months for, that $2,500 bonus, all those paychecks in between are a struggle. And so I also, would be more interested in seeing us advocate for an improvement in the wage. Which bargaining unit do they belong to? Is there a reopener on wages available?
They belong to the Deputies Association, the food specialists and cooks do, and the booking clerks as well, or corrections clerks, so we call them.
Yeah, so, thinking about $16 an hour, our goal now, we hit a target of 15. We've got most employees almost to 16, but I think, overall we continue to target upward for the bottom base wage with an ultimate goal of 20. So it's a livable wage for employees. The other thing I want us to think about as we have budget discussions coming up beyond this topic, is the environment that we're asking our corrections team to work within. So the jail is in need of significant upgrades, and the built environment we ask employees to function within. How is it functioning with a jail management system? We've talked about the software that helps manage, watching the facility, moving people around, being able to communicate efficiently, safely, effectively with one another. All of those lead to the tension of the environment, the stress and the burnout, particularly when folks are tasked with working extended overtime because we're not recruiting. So it's really a holistic support that the sheriff's office is in need of, and hopefully we'll all bear that in mind and keep it in focus as we go forward, because there are significant expenses.
Yeah, absolutely. I really appreciate you guys listening to our programs and our suggestions, and we're always open for more. So I'm glad that you guys meet with the sheriff or other people and give us your suggestions, because we want them. And we want people to get to know us and know that we're more than just road officers.
Yeah.
We're a whole village of people doing a whole lot of different jobs. And we need all of them.
Think about these retention bonuses. It's a finite pot of money that you have. It will run out. So if the wage is not addressed, that is funding that we find from other sources to address wage. So keep that in mind through advocacy and how we're negotiating with the employee unions. All right. Thank you, Annie. Commissioner Wheeler.
I was just going to make a motion. All right. I make the motion to reallocate ARPA funding for a hiring bonus and recruitment incentive program.
Motion made by Commissioner Wheeler, supported by Commissioner Morales. Is there further discussion? Vice Chair.
Is there any way that, Commissioner Wheeler, that you can separate the recruitment for the corrections deputies from the correction clerk and food service positions to make it two different motions?
So you're requesting to divide the question?
Divide the question, yeah. Because I'm in favor of the corrections deputies. The correction clerk and food service positions, I think we need to go after raise the wages.
So would it be a subsidiary motion at this time to divide the question by Vice Chair in order? Council?
It would be in order if it is accepted by the motion maker.
Okay, so there's a motion to divide the question. So we'll take up first the motion. Should I have a restate?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Council.
Okay, so I make the motion to,
Madam Chair, and I'm so sorry. Forgive me.
Thank you, Council.
Commissioner Willer, if you would withdraw that motion and then make two new motions. That the motion for the correction, then the second one.
We also
Thank
need
you.
approval from the support as well to withdraw the motion.
No, because she's the maker of the motion,
Okay,
so she
thank
can withdraw it.
I'll withdraw my motion. And if you would like to make it.
I'll make the first one then. This one I'm glad to vote for. I make the motion that we reallocate ARPA funding for a hiring bonus and recruitment incentive program for the positions of corrections deputy.
Motion made by Vice Chair, supported by Vice Chair Pro Tem to extend the recruitment bonus to corrections deputies. Any further discussion? Commissioner Morales?
Say. Oh, I wasn't asking that. I'm being checked over here.
Perhaps, go ahead, Commissioner Morales.
With Vice Chair's motion, are we gonna try to split the ARPA funding and then put half into this and the other half into raising the wages? Is that my understanding?
We're just gonna take two separate votes. The dollar funds haven't been proposed to change.
Okay,
We're just gonna take a vote to extend it to this class of employees first, and then we'll take a second vote on the other class of employees. It's all from the same pot of money. Okay. Do you want to try to clarify, Vice Chair?
Sure. The original motion was to have all three corrections deputies, correction clerks, and food service positions. Yeah, to be a part of, and I'm okay with the $5,000 hiring bonus going to correction deputies. When we get to the correction clerks and food service positions, I'd rather give them $1 or $2 an hour raise but that's, yeah.
Commissioner Morales?
and so is that out of ARPA or would that be out of, okay, so that would be out of ARPA. I'm just wondering how, it won't be out, it would be out of general fund?
A wage change is through our general fund or the
That's
law
okay.
enforcement fund.
I need clarity. So all of these ARPA dollars are going towards this new motion?
No, my motion right now, there's 125 or 135, I think, left in that thing. My motion is to include corrections deputies
Right.
along with the nurses and the road patrol. Sorry.
Okay, just because we're getting crosstalk, so let me just regain the floor. So we'll make sure that we're clarifying. So the motion at hand, and we're having some discussion on the secondary motion. So let's discuss what's in front of us. Is the expansion of the recruitment bonus for the corrections deputies. This will be paid for fully by ARPA funding. Commissioner Wheeler?
Thank you, Chair. I believe that these other two positions are union positions, which means you can't just raise their wages. You have to go through the bargaining unit. So by delaying this, you're going to then, this is ARPA money that is going to get spent either way. And we have time until that next contract negotiation. So you might as well just give it to them now so they can have this and we can figure out in our budgetary process how to raise their wages.
I think likely we have support to advance, based on dialogue. I think Vice Chair is trying to elevate a point on principle that he wants to see the wage elevated and he's exercising his vote on which to do that. But I'm speaking for him, I suppose. Commissioner Gisler?
Chair, do we need to include in the motion the dollar amount that we're talking about for these incentives?
They haven't stipulated a dollar amount within the proposal. It's just to open up the pool of ARPA funds. So if they have no employees that come forward in this category, they'll spend $0 on it. If they have 10 that come forward, then they'll spend that amount. So it's just until their ARPA funds are exhausted.
Okay.
Commissioner DeLue?
Great idea, Vice Chair, but I think you're just muddying the waters. The Sheriff's Department has come with a request. I would just like to honor their request. I think they know what they're doing, and we can address the wage issues later.
All right, this time I'll call the question. We're going to vote on the motion to extend the recruitment bonus to the correction deputies. Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Gisler,
Yes.
Vice Chair Pro Tem Hepler,
Yes.
Commissioner Mazer, Commissioner Morales,
Yes.
Commissioner Ray,
Yes.
Chair Strebs,
Yes.
Vice Chair Taylor,
Yes.
Commissioner Wheeler. Yes. Commissioner DeLu.
Yes.
8 yes. And I will make the motion to reallocate.
I'm sorry, Madam Chair.
The motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, Council.
Thank you.
Commissioner Wheeler.
Thanks, Chair. I'll now make the motion to reallocate ARPA funding for hiring bonus and recruitment incentive program for corrections clerks and food service positions.
Motion is made by Commissioner Wheeler, supported by Commissioner Morales. Further discussion. Vice Chair.
Well, that's what I do, is muddy the waters. No, I just don't think it's good policy position when we can't recruit somebody and we can't fill those positions to do a $5,000 bonus with somebody that's making $16, $17 an hour. It just makes a lot more sense for the employee and the employer and our long-term retention to pay a wage that they can live on and raise a family on. I think bonuses are what's needed in law enforcement world and with nurses and with correction officers. But I think when the civilian population within our jail, I think we really need to take a real hard dive on what we pay them. And yes, it would take a bargaining. We'd have to do a bargaining reopener. And I can't imagine that the FOP or the sheriff's deputies unions would be opposed to us saying we want to open up a negotiator so we can give another $1 or $2 an hour. And also, even these union positions, I would like to get a comparables. And when we go into negotiations, to just because they're a union position, we can't rely solely on their union steward to bargain in good faith for their lowest level employees. We've seen that in other bargaining units where we try to lift the bottom of the wage salary, and the top of the wage salary says, well, I want the same percentage. That's not our goal. I think we need to take a look at all of our positions and do a real deep dive on how do we attract and retain talent. So, I mean, yeah, it's kind of, I know I'm going to lose this vote, but I'm going to vote no on principle. Thanks.
Hey, Vice Chair.
Chair, may I make a
Yes.
clarification?
Yes, Under Sheriff, go ahead.
I just want to clarify the county bounty program is a separate ask from the recruitment bonuses. I think that's where the waters may be getting muddied for myself. Vice Chair's point was that and correct me if I'm wrong, sir, is that you were okay with the corrections deputy bonus, but not the other two, the food service and the corrections clerk. Okay. County bounty program is just for everybody. Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you, Under Sheriff. I'll add to Vice Chair's point, let's just do both. Let's offer these retention bonuses and let's tackle that wage. Any further discussion? All right, Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Vice Chair Pro Tem Hepler, Commissioner Mazer, Commissioner Morales,
Yes.
Commissioner Ray,
Yes.
Chair Strebs,
Yes.
Vice Chair Taylor,
No.
Commissioner Wheeler. Yes. Commissioner DeLu,
Yes.
Commissioner Gisler.
Yes.
7 yes.
Thank you, Clerk. That motion carries.
Madam Chair,
Council.
forgive me. I do believe that this body does need to vote to extend the county bounty program, as that you've only dealt with the deputies and then with the food service specialists and the correction clerks.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Council. That was what I was going to direct us to take up next. Appreciate it.
I'll make that motion that we extend the county bounty program in the sheriff's office.
Good. Motion made by Vice Chair Taylor, supported by Vice Chair Pro Tem Epler, to extend the county bounty program in the sheriff's office. Further discussion? Easy peasy. Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Commissioner Mazer, Commissioner Morales,
Yes.
Commissioner Ray,
Yes.
Chair Stribbs,
Yes.
Vice Chair Taylor,
Yes.
Commissioner Wheeler,
Yes.
Commissioner DeLu,
Yes.
Commissioner Gisler,
Yes.
Vice Chair Pro Tem Epler. Yes.
That motion carries. All right, thank you to Under Sheriff and to the commissioners for our dialogue there. Let's move to item 14. This is our second opportunity for public comment. Members of the public can join us at the podium, or they can join us virtually by calling 855-925-2801, meeting code 10748, and pressing *3. Provide your name and where you're from. Welcome.
Thank you. Jane Ghosh with Discover Kalamazoo, and I want to thank the board and administration and staff, Dr. Catlin, Corporate Counsel, for all of your support leading us to tonight's momentous vote to establish the authority board for the Event Center Financing District. We look forward to working with our appointed Commissioner Morales, and the rest of the authority board, and Vice Mayor Hess to move this project forward as quickly as possible. We're very excited about it. We think it's the right thing for our community, and we appreciate the support. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to make public comment? Seeing none, Dina, do we have anyone online?
Chair, we do not.
All right, thank you. I'll close our final public comment. We'll go to item 15, reports of our officers, bodies, administrator, and controller. So I'll just share, today we were able to help celebrate the Kalamazoo Community Courtyard. Director Balkema helped to represent Kalamazoo County at the event. This, along with Cal Recovery, which I hope we will celebrate soon as well, is one of the developments through the housing millage that I think just has a really profound impact. So just to understand, this is affordable housing that will help survivors of intimate partner violence and human trafficking, as ongoing support services and collaboration across community organizations to help folks to stabilize, to recover, and to move forward. I think this is a piece of work that will be have sort of a generational impact, and it's one that we should be very proud of. I know, violence in interpersonal relationships is far too frequent. There are people that suffer. It's a direct cause of losing your housing, people who flee violence. We've seen it touch the lives of several of our commissioners on this body. We've seen its impacts to loved ones of people that we work closely with and support here at the county. And so I'm just very proud of this work. I want to celebrate that today. Tomorrow I'll have the opportunity, or on Thursday rather, to travel to Detroit and be with Governor Whitmer again. We'll be celebrating the launch of the reduction of medical debt in the community. Administration has been so supportive of the endeavor, and I think our partners at the state, our Board of Commissioners here, to really tackle medical debt locally. We see barriers that are threatening access to people to medical care, and people often avoid care because they are underinsured, they fear the cost, or they're cost burdened for care. And when we can alleviate that, we open up the opportunity for people to be healthy, to protect themselves, and to live longer lives. And that, again, is also something to be very proud of. That's what effective government locally looks like. It's one that sees barriers, finds solutions, and executes those in a way that makes meaningful difference in the lives of people. And it's what we've continued to work at, from tackling living wages for our employees, safe conditions for the community, tackling violence, expanding housing, addressing health inequities. I'm proud of that work, and we'll keep at it. And thank you. Those are my comments for tonight.
Thank you. We've always say here at the dais that the most valuable thing that the county has is its employees. And I couldn't agree more. And what we've been able to do specifically as a reside with benefits to our employees in the last 3 years has been truly remarkable. I was at a benefits design committee and hearing from our HR director about the TriShare program, how that one of the employees in the county said, I can afford to work now. I can actually afford to send my kid and go and make a living wage and not have 100% of my check go towards childcare. Doing things like that makes us a more attractive place for people to come and work, and it makes the county more successful. It gives better value to the taxpayers who are paying all of our salaries to do this. So we had our benefits design plan committee again. No huge things that are going to come have some budgetary impacts. We're mostly looking at the changes that we did 2 years ago or last year and seeing how that affects what the costs are and everything else. But we're going to keep the same benefits. There's no huge cuts that are coming in the employee benefit side. So I'm really excited about that. At Land Bank, we are looking at, after the Raffaelli case, revenue for land banks has just dwindled. There's been less and less sources of revenue. The Land Bank is now currently working with our housing and working with some other folks to find ways with TIF districts and creative solutions to find ways to keep our land bank going for in perpetuity well into the future. Whereas other land banks across the state are going to die out. They're not going to have that revenue that they traditionally relied upon. So we're doing great things in Kalamazoo County. As our chair said, effective good government is from thoughtful, deliberate participation from people from 9 different backgrounds. And I think we're doing that here. I'd also like to give a special shout out and thanks to Jane Ghosh and Discover Kalamazoo. Congratulations on your new advisory board. And thank you very much for me by including Ashtamo in that process. I think that was a very smart move, and I think it was a wise move. And we can work on trying to get the infrastructure in there from 131 into that event center to make it make sense. I think collaboration, and if we listen to one another, we get a lot farther. So thank you very much, and thank you to this board. And Bo, it's time for bed.
Vice Chair Pro Tem.
Thank you, Chair. It's summertime, John. It's summertime. Give him a few extra hours, you know. Be tired when he gets done. Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Commission. As I usually shout out to our staff and our employees, as we've kind of directed tonight, they are the backbone of our organization and a huge help to taking care of our some 200 and almost 70,000 residents here in this county, as well as our businesses. We have a great deal of folks that do a fantastic job here at the county, our administration, and all of our departments work to serve our people. If we get an opportunity, please thank them for their hard work. Thank our military, our firemen, our policemen, our ambulance folks that are out there daily trying to keep us all safe, to make Kalamazoo a great place to live, work, and play. I got it in there, Dale. You can do it too. But it's we just had a 4th of July that celebrated this nation's existence. In the big picture, America is a pretty short term that we've been around. There's been many other countries and stuff that have been around quite a long time, but it really shows the magnitude of what we have become in the very short period of time that we've been here. The great things that we're able to do, giving folks the ability to not just serve themselves but to serve their community, their families, the state, and this country. We need to be proud of that and support it throughout the year. So everybody be safe. Have a great week.
Thank you, Vice Chair Pro Tem. Go to Administrator Catlin.
Good evening, Chair, Vice Chair Pro Tem. I have several updates to share. First one being with the update about the indigent defense contract that we have with MIDC. So that contract, or our plan, our compliance plan for FY25, the FY25-26 plan was denied in June, and it's not the first time we've been denied, but it's the first time in about 5 years we've been denied. So since the inception of the program, and so we are working collaboratively with KCDI and the MIDC to resubmit that compliance plan. Where the primary issue lies is in the financial portion of that agreement in that plan, as the state is facing fiscal constraints despite last year's MIDC surplus. So because they had a surplus, now they're in a sense being targeted. So they're looking very closely at all of the system plans within the state. So our current deliveries services will not be affected, but we do not anticipate receiving less than last year. But there are services and enhancements that they would like to incorporate that likely won't be approved. So they're adjusting some of their compliance standards and requests within that plan. Due to the cancellation of the MIDC August meeting, we aim to resubmit that plan by the end of this month for consideration at their September meeting, which cuts it very close to the state budget deadline and an implementation for that. I wanted to give you an update as well about some emergency management activities, some training and community preparedness. So emergency management continues to ramp up their operations under Director James's leadership. They partnered with FEMA and the National Weather Service to coordinate trainings for department heads, supervisors, and managers for incident command system courses, 300, 400 level. And they're focusing really on severe weather preparedness in light of increasing volatile weather patterns, i.e. tornadoes, straight line winds, etc. So one of the main focuses too that we're trying to schedule is Skywarn training. It's a nationally recognized program developed by the NOAA and National Weather Service. And really the course trains volunteers to become essentially storm spotters, equipping them to identify and report severe weather conditions throughout the county. With National Weather Service, as you may or may not know, resources, they're increasingly strained. And so local Skywarn trained individuals can serve as vital extension of early warning systems, enhancing our public safety in our community. So that's one thing that they're working on. We heard from the doctor tonight about the 5th District Medical Coalition. And so that's something that I'll work with Director James tomorrow on to understand, get a handle on the issue, and then I'll meet with the doctor about other issues that may be occurring. And so we can learn a little bit more and see how we can lend some help in that area. So we have already met as well a little bit before this meeting took place. So we already have communication set up, and we can report back on our progress on that. I wanted to let the commission know, but also the public know that Consumers Energy is offering bill assistance, bill relief assistance through the state. So a new MDHHS policy provides one-time energy assistance through state emergency relief funds. And so eligible households at or below 150% of the federal poverty level can receive up to $500 per utility assistance for gas or electric. And so the key dates starting July 7th, new applicants may receive $500 per utility, even if their bill is past due, is lower than that. And then starting July 11th, previous SER recipients who haven't reached the cap may apply for any remaining balance. So residents can check or can apply and check eligibility at newmibridges.michigan.gov, and then be sure to select SER. So I think that Consumers Energy will be posting, hopefully, to their social media, sending out and working with, at least public awareness campaigns with local media networks to get the message out about that. And we've also touched base with our local response consortium on that to get the word out. A quick parking garage update. So final design plans for the new parking garage have been delivered to the county, and we've been soliciting requests for proposals for a project management firm and a construction management firm. The project management firm would be staff augmentation to buildings and grounds to actually manage the projects staff wise, and the construction manager would oversee the contractors and trades during the build out of the parking garage. So a final cost and timeline are not yet available, but we're working on that. When we onboard the construction manager, we'll have a finite timeline to send or to share with the board when that time comes. I wanted to share information as vice chair, kind of lifted up some of the tri-share efforts that the board adopted through the 2025 budget process. So we are nearing implementation of what we're titling the child care or care share program, rather, for dependent child care. It's a one-off of the tri-share program. So this program is supports eligible employees with dependent child care costs covering 1/3 of child care expenses for those not eligible under the traditional tri-share program. So for employees under tri-share, costs are divided evenly, with 1/3 paid by the employee, 1/3 paid by the employer, which would be the county, and then 1/3 paid by the state. This approach balances support with fiscal responsibility, and then obviously avoiding a substantial budget impact. With the care share program, we are covering 1/3 of the employee's child care, but then the employee that's not eligible under the traditional program would cover 2/3. So they'll be responsible for 2/3. The county will still support the third because we wouldn't have that state funding support. So Human Resources has distributed an overview internally to solicit feedback from department heads, the courts, elected officials, and then in preparation for our formal presentation to the Board of Commissioners for approval of that program. Budget retreat, again, a reminder, save the date for that and join us on July 29th at the Expo Center from 12 to 5:30. The key agenda items will include a presentation of the department's new funding requests, a summary of the community grant applications, and then an overview of the county's financial position in alignment with the strategic plan. And then obviously the board is then expected to hopefully adopt their FY26 budget priorities. And then just a final reminder that our next meeting is scheduled, Board of Commissioners meeting is scheduled August 6th. That is a Wednesday because there's an election on that Tuesday. So just keep in mind, next meeting's on a Wednesday, and that's all I have this evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister Catlin. Are there any questions? Commissioner Gisler.
Excuse me. Thank you, Chair. You mentioned that there's going to be a search, or it already is underway, for storm spotters or people to observe weather, but they would obviously have to have a little training. You just say, I'm going to put my head out the door. Is that underway, or am I late to the party? Or
that's correct. So we're in the process of trying to schedule training with the National Weather Service. They are the ones that actually deliver that training. And so the federal government actually cut the Grand Rapids staff from 16 to 8. So they cut them by half. And so it's very difficult for them to deliver trainings right now, but we're in the process of trying to work with them to schedule these trainings in light of the volatile weather that we've been experiencing in Southwest Michigan. So we want to ensure that we can sort of augment their staff in preparing our community and spotting, severe weather before, they can or when they can't, because they're now short-staffed due to the federal government cuts.
is this something we should be ready to take to our districts, calling for people that want to step up?
Absolutely, yeah. So once we get a training, solidified and dates solidified, we can share that with the Board of Commissioners. We'll share it with all of our disaster preparedness committee partners to get the word out that we are looking for volunteers that would love to be trained in the area. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you. We'll go to Commissioner comments. You want to lead us off, Commissioner Wheeler?
Thanks, Chair. Appreciate it. I don't have much other than that. Great work tonight. I'm looking very much so forward to the budget process again, and hoping that we can, I'm going to say it, make Kalamazoo County a better place to work, live, and play.
Thank you, Commissioner Wheeler. Let's go to Commissioner Morales.
I have nothing tonight. Have a good night. Oh, congratulations.
Thank you, Commissioner Morales. Commissioner Gisler.
Thank you, Chair. I have two things. One, I want to let everybody know that Jane Ghosh, the lady in the green dress that's been around for seemingly forever, has agreed to talk to my group, Kalamazoo Citizens for Responsible Government, on August 11th at Mark's Diner on Romance in Portage at 11, that's August 11th at 8:30 in the morning. And I don't know if she's going to basically do what she did here. I hope so. That was great. And anybody that wants to see it again, or if you have people that missed it for some reason, send them to Mark's Diner on Romance, August 11th at 8:30. She'll be doing her show again. The other thing is you already sent out a press release on this, but I sit with the airport authority, and I just want to put a emphasis on it, and that is that there's $14+ million now coming our way from the FAA that will help go into putting the new runway extension on, but it's also going to do a few other things. You can't extend the runway without extending the taxiway to get to the end of the runway, the new extended one. But that's really a big deal for the airport, because they've been working on this, hoping that it was going to be funded, but now they know it's funded. And I mean, as much as you can count on anything nowadays in terms of government funding, but so that's something worthy of note. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Gissler. Commissioner DeLu.
Just a couple of things. Tonight, Vice Chair Taylor a couple of times mentioned the Sheriff's Deputies Association and the Fraternal Order of Police. And the Sheriff's Deputies are no longer a member of the Fraternal Order of Police. Maybe that's their problem. Sorry. And tell them I said that.
Like an officer.
No, treasurer of the Fraternal Order of Police. Anyway, I also serve on the Veterans Service Board Committee. And on Friday, July 25th, the Kalamazoo Public Housing Commission and Integrated Services of Kalamazoo, they're celebrating their 5-year anniversary of the Keystone Veteran Transitional Housing. It's a 12-bedroom house located at 422 East Stockbridge, and it's transitional housing for homeless veterans. And they would like people to come out and help them celebrate from 11 to 3. They're going to have food, drinks, and music, and their featured speaker is Mayor David Anderson, who is also the Director of Housing for ISK. So if you'd like to attend, they'd like to have you. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner DeLu. With nothing further, with that, we are adjourned.